How's it going, everyone? In this video, we have some big news on Samantha Irvin. A major AEW star is now leaving to WWE and a whole lot more. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get the latest wrestling news. Alright guys, so for our first story of today, we have some big news on WWE's potential plan for Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. As Mike Johnson of PW Insider reports, recently discussions have taken place regarding how long Raw and Smackdown will be starting in January. And as of right now, Monday Night Raw will likely return to 3 hours when they move to Netflix, and Smackdown may go from 2 to 3 hours. However, it is important to note that nothing has been set in stone. Next up, we have the latest news on Samantha Irvin's shocking departure from WWE. As Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select reports, the news of Samantha Irvin's sudden departure from WWE actually came as a big surprise to many employees within the company. However, despite her decision to leave, everyone spoken to within WWE had nothing but high praise for her. Moving on to our next story, we have some big news that one major AEW star will not be leaving for WWE anytime soon, because according to a report from Fightful Select, despite all of the rumors saying that he will soon be leaving AEW for WWE, apparently that is not the case for Ricky Starks, because at this point in time, he is still under contract with AEW and his deal won't be expiring anytime soon. So now guys, I want to give you my thoughts and opinions on all of the stories that we discussed today. So for our first story that we talked about today, we did talk about WWE's potential plan for Monday Night Raw and also for Friday Night Smackdown. And this is for when Monday Night Raw moves to Netflix in January, and also for I guess you could say how long they plan to make the shows. Now, as of right now, Monday Night Raw is they are running 2 hours. However, according to this new reports, discussions are being made that Monday Night Raw will most likely go back to 3 hours. And as it pertains to SmackDown, it does appear like they will be switching to 3 hours, which is a lot of time in my opinion. I do think that I think Monday Night Raw is a lot easier to watch, as well as SmackDown, obviously, when they are 2 hours, because I do think that the show just goes by quick and it's very, I guess you could say the word would be digestible just to watch, and it's not necessarily a drag because 3 hours is a lot of time. And also because during that time, for example, during matches, they do run ads, so it does interrupt when you are watching a match, and it kind of takes the rhythm off of it, in my opinion. And I do think that going to 3 hours may be too much, but obviously if Friday Night Smackdown goes to 3 hours, it is a very good move for them in terms of financial purposes. But in my opinion, I do think that Monday Night Raw will return to 3 hours, and then SmackDown does appear like they will be switching to 3 hours when they begin in January. Now, the other story that we talked about was some pretty shocking news about Samantha Irvin. Now, apparently Samantha Irvin just announced on, I believe it was, I'm not too sure, I think it was on X, that she did say that she's basically done being the ring announcer for Monday Night Raw, and that she's essentially done with the company. Now, this is a big shock to many fans, and however, for me, not necessarily, because I always believe that when Ricochet made his departure from WWE and when he went to AEW, I was pretty certain that Samantha Irvin would leave WWE and potentially head over to AEW, which seems to be the case. I do think that Samantha Irvin is doing this more so to be closer to Ricochet. And I do think that is her decision to want to leave WWE for AEW. And it's not necessarily because I guess WWE is not a good place to work for. But I do think that it's just to be with Ricochet, especially because they are engaged to be married. So I do think that that is very important for them. And however, the report did not say whether Samantha Irvin, like when she would be able to join AEW, because I'm not sure if her contract just ran out or if she asked to be released from the company. That is not known yet. However, in my opinion, I do believe that ultimately she will end up in AEW alongside Ricochet, and she will be more than likely an announcer for AEW as well. Now, the other story that we talked about was that one major AEW star, that person being Ricky Starks, actually won't be going to WWE anytime soon, despite the fact that there have been, for the past couple of months, a ton of rumors as to why Ricky Starks has not been utilized on AEW television, and that basically when his contract expires with the company, then he will end up going to WWE, which is something that many fans expect to see. However, according to Sean Ross Sapp of FIFO Select, he is saying that although that is the expectation that when his contract expires with AEW, that he will be going to WWE, at this point in time, Ricky Starks is still currently contracted with AEW. And he also said that his deal will not be expiring anytime soon. So basically, this means that Ricky Starks will be staying with AEW for an undisclosed period of time. But it does appear like it will be for maybe perhaps several months or something like this. And he won't be going to WWE anytime soon, which is a shame in my opinion, because I do think that if Ricky Starks is 100% healthy and he still has a lot of time left on his contract, then I don't understand why Tony Khan is deciding to not use Ricky Starks on AEW television. And I do think that just keeping him on the sidelines despite him being 100% healthy is not a good decision by Tony Khan, in my opinion. So hopefully when his current AEW deal expires, we will see him in WWE when that happens. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the news that we have for today. Please make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on all of the stories that we discussed today in the comment section down below. So for a quick recap, guys, we did talk about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. WWE having discussions as to whether or not they will extend the hours for SmackDown and go back to 3 hours for Raw, which seems to be the case. We also talked about Samantha Irvin's shocking departure from WWE. And we also talked about Ricky Starks. He still has plenty of time left on his AEW contract and will not be heading over to WWE anytime soon. So with that being said, guys, that is all of the news that we have for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.